Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply, and this is the Leather Element. If you've got a good question for us or a good idea for a leather element, drop it in the comment box below. Also, if you want to know when our videos release, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. So shop tricks. Let's see if there's something here that's going to help us out in our shop. Because the biggest point, let's enjoy the time in our shop, but also let's make sure our projects are as clean and professional as we can make them. One of my favorite additions to any and every belt is a buckle set. I love the look of that. Very finished, very professional. Well, our buckle, our keeper, easy to apply. We're just dropping in rivets. The tip, this has always been a problem because what we've had to do in the past is I'm going to lay this down and we're going to scribe this in. Now I'm going to cut inside that line and I'm going to have to slowly work it to where the tip fits. Here's the easiest way around this. Now, we'll have to kind of work with what size works best for the tips that we're using, but let's try this. So on a 1 inch, I'm going to go down to a 3/4 inch English point. Okay, now that's not deep enough. So let's take our knife and I'm going to cut up 1/4 inch on either side. Now for me, I don't want a hard shoulder here, so I'm actually going to cut this at a little bit of an angle. Okay, we've got that. Let's see how this fits. Absolutely perfect. How easy was that? Okay, now for a 1 1/4 inch, I'm going to go with a 1 inch English point. We've got that, so let's see, where's our 1 1/4? There we are. That slips right on, again, a perfect fit. Let's jump up to 1 1/2 inch, and we're going to go with a 1 1/4 inch English point. And our 1 1/2 inch fits perfectly. Now, these aren't going to work on every buckle set that we buy. We're going to have to do a little experimenting. But for the most part, these tools, 1 inch, well, that's relatively common. 3/4, 1 1/4, maybe not so much. But if we're going to do a lot of tips, it would absolutely pay to get the right punch to add our tips. I love the spots, and we see these in most videos. But my last step when I'm hand setting spots is to tap these down with our mallet. It's going to curl those tines in. We won't be able to feel that. Here's the problem. From time to time, I'm not paying attention and I smash one of my spots. And in fact, if you hit a round spot hard enough, it looks like a little donut. Well, my first tendency, let's just yank that out with a pair of needle nose or maybe wire cutters. That's going to destroy the leather. So let's do this. Let's take the smallest awl we sell at Weaver. It's a needle point awl. Let's flip this over. Now what I'm going to do is easily work that up under the tines. There we go. I can work those out. Now we flip this over, simply press it. That spot comes right out. We have not damaged our leather at all. It's an easy way to replace bad spots. This is a problem that has plagued me since day one, and I'm bringing it up now because it just happened again. What I'm talking about is overcuts from previous projects. So here's how this happened. I'm going to make a set of 3 hot mats for a good friend. It's a gift. So on this inner panel, what I've done, I've got my panels cut, I've round cornered, and I've actually dropped in a nice heat stamp. Well, when I go to glue these down, all I have to do is glue and sew. Project's done. Right there, I notice we've got a big overcut from a previous project. In fact, right there, there's actually 2. I can't trim that down. I've wasted this piece. Now I got to go back to the beginning. Now on veg tan, it's not really such a problem because we can see that very well. But when we get into our darker leathers or our prints, it can be a big issue. But another point to this, when we're cutting our projects, let's do our best to keep from getting these big overcuts because for the most part now, that piece of leather is wasted. How about just one more trick? Because this is a big help to me, and I hope it will be to you. When I'm designing a project, well, a lot of my concentration is on the pattern itself. But what I find to be the biggest hurdle, what's the perfect decoration for this project. The problem isn't a lack of options, the problem is too many options. And in fact, it can actually be a little overwhelming, and I bet you felt that way. So here's an answer. Now, we don't get to see the sides of my shop very often, but I've got a couple of spots here where I'll put up my favorite stamp design or die or an experimental piece or something I want to work on. So when I've got a project on my table, I simply walk around my shop and I'm guaranteed to find exactly the right decoration. So I hope this is good information for you. Thanks for taking time to watch The Leather Element. Good luck with your projects.